Good morning, everybody. It's another gym video, finally, at Camp Crystal Gaines. Man, I've got 3 videos worth of footage to go through. This was in order, the first one. But, yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like I've gotten over my issue with filming in public. And I did not give a single shit the past few lifts. So videos should be getting a lot better from here on out. I don't know, man. I got kind of weird about it. I was doing the gym footage and then I stopped, and then it just threw me off. Like I had to mentally get the balls to do it again, I guess. It's the only way to put it. But yeah, this was shoulder day. I always start out over here on well, that's not true. Sometimes I'll like warm up with a few like mobility things, but to be honest, I haven't been doing that lately. But then I'll hop over here on this machine press. I really like it. Actually, it may have been in here. I generally do either the whole stack. Once I warm up, I'll do a set or two with either the full stack or just below, and then I start dropping the weight and going for higher reps. But well, not necessarily higher reps, but just higher reps than I would get with the full stack, we'll say. And of course, I got to be a ham and flex, and apparently play air drums. You'll hear it in this video. I got permission from Evil Incarnate, that band I talked about, subscribers band, to use their music in my videos and reels and stuff that are on YouTube, because that's something that's been bothering me. I hate not having like some good metal that's going to be copyright free that I can put over my videos. And I thought, wait a minute, this is a perfect opportunity. I've got this fucking sick band, a subscribers band. Let me ask. And it worked out. So I hope you guys are digging that. Go check them out. I'm going to put links and everything at the bottom or in the description or pinned comment or something like that. But I want you guys to go check them out. These I've talked about before, but just in case there's new people, I picked these up from a Ryan Hummingston video. They're a variation of a lateral raise that targets a specific sliver of your side delt that is really responsible for that like rounded popping out look. And I really love these, and I feel like my shoulders have definitely improved since I started doing them. But the issue with these is, and you'll see right there, I flip my hand around to where the ball of that cable is against my pinky. So it's an awkward range of motion, and you have to be very, very careful, because you can cause a shoulder impingement or something if you do these wrong, and you don't want to do that. I would fucking flip out if I injured my shoulders. As I've talked about repeatedly, they are my favorite body part. Well, muscle. They're my favorite muscle group. Yeah. Of course, I gotta rep the Halloween shirt. That's the thing, man. People always think me and Michael have beef, but we love Michael over at Camp Crystal Gaines. All right, real recognize real, and Michael's the OG. He's the big bro. So, gotta show some love to Oh, Mikey. A lot of people would be surprised that Jason is not my number one. Over the years, he's gotten tied with it. I don't know why I'm trying to be cryptic and mysterious. Myers is my favorite, believe it or not. But I feel like they're pretty even for me now. But there's something about Myers and Jason, that silent, relentless, unstoppable force that I think is appealing, and I think is part of why those characters mean what they do in pulp culture. They're iconic. And as I was watching this footage back, I realized just how many sets of these I did, and I didn't even film all of them, is what's crazy. But I sometimes will get in there and I stop paying attention to like how many sets I've done, and I'll realize, like, no joke, 10 sets in, I'm like, okay, yeah, I should probably call it and move on to something else. Or just, if I was actually smart, just be like, okay, well, that's enough volume. But I still am probably doing too much volume. But from what I can tell, man, I think there's a benefit to high volume. Now, I don't think there's as much of a benefit to just doing junk volume. Though I feel like your technique should still be on point, to the best of your ability, with fatigue management and that. But it's not always about how much weight you can lift. And that's the thing, is like I still kind of occasionally ego lift. Like I'll go in there and do push downs with the stack, even though I have elbow joint issues. But as far as like growing, I really think lowering the weight and controlling it, even with higher volume, is a good approach. At least it's the approach that's worked for me so far. Granted, I do heavy low reps too. I try to do both. One thing I have an issue with, as far as every time I've tried to branch out and do like two body parts, like a chest and back day, or like a arms and shoulders or something like that, is because I do a lot of volume. Like I get absolutely insane pumps, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm addicted to the pump. And I don't get as much of a pump when I hit a second body part. So like if I'm doing chest and back, I'm gonna want that chest pump to be as crazy as if I had just hit chest for that whole time, but it's not going to be. And so it's like a psychological thing. Like I just don't feel, because I didn't get as pumped, I don't feel like it was as good of a lift. And that's not necessarily true, because I kind of was looking at some stuff, because I was doing that for a while, and I feel like I grew quite a bit in that period, and it was probably due to the lower volume and higher recovery. But I've got to get over that mental, I want a big insane pump in one body part thing. I have noticed, and I don't know if it's because I'm enhanced, it probably is, my shoulders seem to get pumped pretty much no matter what I'm hitting. They don't get like as insane of a pump as they would on shoulder day, but they definitely, I'll notice they'll get pumped up no matter, doesn't seem to really matter what I'm hitting. Like, I don't understand why I get a front delt pump on pull days. To me, I don't understand like where that's hitting my front delts so much that it would cause a pump. Again, I'm just rambling here. Man, I saw a thing and like a reel, and they were talking about, well, somebody was calling this girl out because she made a reel. She's a fitness influencer, saying, sorry, I can't post a transformation video because I never let myself go. And it was one of the most fucking tone deaf things I've ever seen. It came off like as you're shaming people who have, you don't know, they could have medical stuff going on that's causing them to be overweight. Medications cause weight gain. There's thyroid issues. There's all kinds of stuff. There's just being in poor health and having injuries and stuff, and not necessarily being able to exercise to a certain degree. And I'm guilty of doing that too occasionally. I will get like in these real inspired moods to want to get people to better themselves. Because I do, man. I want to see everybody be the best version of themselves. And I'll occasionally make posts asking like, what is stopping you from trying to change your physique? And I will get, people say like, hey, I'm a retired vet, or I've got this disease or whatever. And that's valid. I'm not ever going to try to make somebody feel like they're not doing all they can. But at the same time, I do see people with kind of impossible situations still doing it. But that's the thing, is everybody's different, and everybody is going to react to training or illness or whatever differently. So just, try to keep in mind what people could possibly be going through, because you don't know. And being overweight isn't necessarily a personal flaw or a moral failing or something like that. It's, I do agree that most people eat very unhealthily, or if that's even a word, unhealthy. And I feel like almost everyone could be doing a lot more physical activity. As a country, we have gotten very complacent, and we just consume endlessly. I think a lot of the negativity that obese people get is born out of feeling like they put themselves there, and it's not always the case. It is sometimes, but not always. One thing I'm kind of dealing with as far as weight currently. Alright, so you guys know I was on a cut and then said 2025 is the year to 225, and that I was starting to bulk. Well, I did do that, but financially it was a little harder this time for me to eat like I have in the past when bulking. And I had talked about adding more fat into my diet and all of that. Well, at the same time, it's winter, and my cardio dropped off because of that. And I've put on more. Now, I'm not saying I'm fat. I've put on more fat than I'm comfortable with in my lower abdomen and like love handle area. And I want to get that off. I feel like a lot of people probably struggle with this that are into like bodybuilding and stuff, but every time I start a cut, I start, you shrink a little bit, and it starts messing with your head, and then I think, oh my God, pump the brakes. And then when I'm bulking, I start putting on a little bit more body fat than I want, and I panic about that as well. And if you just succumb to that every time, you're not going to make like very significant changes. But I don't know that lately I'm not convinced it's necessary to bulk with an insane calorie surplus. So and I know I've kind of touched on this before, and I apologize if I repeat myself. A lot of times I'll start talking about something and then remember halfway through, hey, you've mentioned this before. But I want to get that weight off, so I may do a little like fat loss phase and then kind of reapproach my bulk. I'm going to kind of cruise for a bit because I need to give my body a break. Hopefully I don't, lose a bunch of size doing so, but from what I understand, you can maintain fairly well with a cruise. I love these upright rows on the cables. And I like using that handle for them. It's the hand placement brings it about shoulder width. And if I'm not mistaken, the wider the grip, the more like side delts it is. And the more narrow the grip, the more it's hitting traps. It's going to hit both no matter what, but depends on what you're trying to target. I guess how you would approach that. I like to lean back just slightly. I just feel like it gives me the path of travel is a little different on cables. At least I think so. And that's what feels comfortable to me, is to just kind of tilt back a little bit. And again, gotta flex for the fucking 23rd time in this video. I'm getting better about it. I used to be like embarrassed to flex and stuff. Again, rooted in thinking that people would think I was arrogant. But lately I've thought, I poured years into this. If I'm not going to flex and show it off, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, again, I feel like I'm allowed to be proud of my physique after a lifetime of hating it.
And then you can kill all the preachers you want.